The royal love story that could shake Spain. What if the person who could one day stand beside Spain's future queen isn't the person anyone expects? Behind palace doors, royal life may look perfect: crowds, ceremonies, cameras, and tradition. But love doesn't follow a royal schedule. For Princess Leonor, every future relationship could mean more than romance. It could become a national conversation. Because when a future queen falls in love, Spain doesn't just ask, "Who does she love?" It asks, "Who will stand beside the crown?" And that is where this story becomes truly fascinating. Princess Leonor is growing into a role unlike almost any other young woman in Spain. Her future has already been shaped by duty, military training, public appearances, constitutional responsibilities, and eventually, the crown. But there is one part of life no ceremony can completely control: the heart. Imagine the moment Leonor eventually introduces someone special, not merely as a friend, not as a guest, but as the person she wants beside her. Suddenly, every detail would matter. Their background, their personality, their family, their ability to handle intense public attention, and perhaps most importantly, whether they understand that loving Leonor could also mean living under the shadow of the Spanish crown. This is where the fairy tale image of royal romance becomes much more complicated. For an ordinary couple, falling in love can be intensely personal. For a future monarch, it can become public. Every photograph could be analyzed. Every gesture could become a headline. Every meeting could trigger speculation. And the biggest question would not simply be whether Leonor is happy. It would be whether the person she chooses can survive the extraordinary pressure that comes with her future. Because being close to a future queen means accepting something most people will never experience: your private life may no longer feel completely private. So who could actually capture Leonor's heart? The answer is something nobody outside her private circle can know for certain. And that is important. Rumors, fan theories, and online speculation can create dramatic stories, but they are not proof of a real relationship. What we can imagine is the kind of person who might fit naturally into her extraordinary world. Someone confident enough not to be intimidated by royal protocol. Someone patient enough to understand her responsibilities. Someone who respects her independence rather than competing with it. And perhaps someone who can make her forget, even for a moment, that the entire country is watching. Because behind the title, behind the uniform, behind the ceremonies, there is still a young woman with hopes, fears, friendships, and dreams of her own. Now imagine Spain discovering that Leonor has found that person. At first, there would probably be curiosity, then photographs, then questions, then endless analysis, and eventually, the unavoidable debate: should a future queen be completely free to choose love on her own terms? Or should her choice be carefully considered because of what the monarchy represents? That tension could make Leonor's eventual love story one of the most fascinating royal stories of her generation. Not because she would be breaking tradition, but because she would be deciding how tradition fits into her own life. And perhaps that is the real revolution. A future queen choosing someone not because they are perfect for a palace, but because they are perfect for her. The most powerful royal love story may not be about diamonds, palaces, or extravagant ceremonies. It could be about trust. Two people standing together while millions watch. One person carrying the weight of a crown, the other choosing to remain beside her not because of the title, but because of the person underneath it. And if that moment ever comes, Spain may discover that the future of its monarchy is not only about who inherits the crown, but about who earns the future queen's heart. So perhaps the biggest question isn't who will Princess Leonor marry? Perhaps it is this: who could love a future queen while allowing her to simply be Leonor? Because when that person finally appears, the story may be bigger than romance. It could become a defining chapter in the future of Spain's monarchy. And until that day, the mystery remains.